Hi everybody, welcome to Whiteboard Wednesdays with Vanna. It is about NVIDIA. NVIDIA, most of you who have ever played a game or own a gaming PC will probably be familiar with the brand, and they started by basically building GPU cards. Those are graphics processing units that accelerate your computer, and specifically accelerating video capabilities of a computer, right? So if you want to do any high-end videoing, any high-end graphics design or CAD design or anything like that, you would be using a GPU. But fast forward 10, 13 years and GPUs are way more used in enterprise and in the business context than just in the consumer side of things as well. So we're going to focus on just what's the difference between a CPU and a GPU, and how that has basically been used by NVIDIA to build some of the world's fastest supercomputers out there at the moment. So we have a CPU. Every computer that you have probably worked with has got a x86 style CPU. This is your central processing unit, and that is the first brain of the computer. Then we have the addition of the second brain of the computer, which is the GPU, right? Now, what's the difference between these two? Well, the primary one is that a CPU, and I'm going to draw on my whiteboard now, otherwise it's not a whiteboard session. The CPU, right, processes in serial, and that is not wheat picks, it is serial processing, so one at a time, right? Then the GPU, all right, processes in parallel. There we go, I didn't even mess that spelling up. So why is this important? Well, when we do things in serial, it's one task at a time. So we get our task, the CPU gets it, and basically processes that one at a time. That means that the millions of instructions that a computer gets has to wait while the previous instruction is processed before the next one is done. Now think about network processing, data processing, all the overhead in computing that needs to be done. It's a multitude of tasks. Whereas in parallel, think about it like a single lane highway versus a 5-lane highway. We can move just so much more cars through a 5-lane highway than on a single lane one. Now, the GPU is very good at processing in parallel. The difference is that while the CPU is very accurate and is built to calculate to an nth degree, the GPU kind of floats around a little bit. It's not necessarily as accurate as the CPU, but it allows us to push through a vast amount of data and significantly speed up data processing, which when we're talking supercomputers is what it's exactly designed to do. So with that, I'd like to thank you very much for tuning into our very first video. We basically asking that you work with us, give us a comment, a like, even share, subscribe to our channel, and also post some comments if you want to see any other topics going forward and what you might like to do that. Also, if there's been good or bad points, really appreciate the feedback. Thank you very much.